Here we have a SAT math question. Okay, let's go to the information. An isosceles right triangle has a hypotenuse of length 58 inches. What is the perimeter in inches of this triangle? Okay, first let me draw an isosceles right triangle. Here I have drawn an isosceles right triangle, and in any right triangle, hypotenuse is the longest side of the right triangle. So here the length of the hypotenuse of the isosceles right triangle is given, that is 58 inches. Actually, hypotenuse is the side which is opposite to the right angle. So here this side is the hypotenuse, and for this side we have the length in the question, that is 58 inches. Okay, since it is an isosceles right triangle, so the remaining two legs must be equal in length. Because if any triangle is considered to be isosceles, then the two sides of the triangle must be equal. So in this isosceles right triangle, hypotenuse is the longest side. So the remaining two legs, this one and this one, must be equal in length. Okay, now I assume x as the length of each of these two sides. So the x and x. Okay, now I have the side lengths for this isosceles right triangle, x, x and 58. So if I want to get the perimeter of this triangle, what I need to do is I have to add the lengths of all the three sides of this triangle. So for that I must be knowing the value of x, because x represents the length of this side and this side. So how do I have to find the value of x? Since it is a right triangle, I can use Pythagorean theorem to get the value for x. So Pythagorean theorem says sum of the squares of two legs of a right triangle always equals to square of the hypotenuse. That is, if I add the square of this side and this square, it must be equal to the square of the hypotenuse 58. So that is x square positive x square equals to 58 square. Okay, so when I combine this x square and x square, I'm getting 2x square equals to 58 square. Okay, now my aim is to solve for x in this equation. For that, I divide both sides by 2. Then this 2 will cancel out. Then I'm getting x square equals to 58 square over 2. Okay, now to get the value of x, I have to get of this square. For that, I'm taking square root on both sides. So when I take square root on both sides, this square root and square will cancel out. I'm just getting x on the left side. On the right side, we have square root for this fraction. So whenever we have square root for a fraction, the square root can be distributed for numerator and denominator. So when I distribute the square root for numerator, I'm getting square root of 58 square. And when I distribute the square root for denominator, I'm getting square root of 2. So in numerator, the square root and square will cancel out. I'm getting x equals to 58 over square root of 2. Okay, now I got the value of x, that is 58 over square root of 2, but here the denominator is an irrational number, so we have to rationalize this. For that, I have to multiply both numerator and denominator by square root of 2. Then I'm getting x equals to 58 times square root of 2 in numerator, and in denominator when I multiply the square root of 2 and square root of 2, I'm just getting 2. So 2 goes into 2 1 times, 2 goes into 58 or 29 times. So finally, I'm getting x equals to 29 times square root of 2. Okay, here in the given triangle, I can replace the x by the values of what we got. So that is 29 times square root of 2, and here 29 times square root of 2. Okay, our aim is to find the perimeter of the triangle. So to get the perimeter of the triangle, I just have to add all the three sides. First, let me take the hypotenuse, that is 58. Then let me take the remaining two legs. So that is 29 times square root of 2, positive 29 times square root of 2. So now I'm getting 58 positive. So when I add this 29 times square root of 2, 29 square root of 2, I'm getting 58 times square root of 2, because both of them are like terms, because both the terms contain square root of 2. So this is similar to the addition of 29x positive 29x. So when I add 29x and 29x, I'm getting 58x. Instead of x, we have square root of 2. So I'm getting 58 square root of 2. So the perimeter of the given isosceles right triangle is 58 positive 58 times square root of 2. So I find this stuff in option C. The correct answer choice for this question is option C.